Service Providers podcast. I'm your host Ali Salman, and this podcast is brought to you by Rapid Boost Marketing, online marketing for service providers. Are you a dentist, realtor, lawyer, accountant? Do you provide services locally? Then this podcast is for you. Here we share strategies, tricks, and techniques on how to generate more leads and sales using online marketing. Join us every day for 5 minutes and take away strategies which you can apply in your business. Welcome to episode 154 of Business Growth School for Service Providers. I'm your host Ali Salman. But before I dive into today's episode, which is all about how to increase your revenue in the most profitable services fast. But before I jump into that, let's talk about yesterday's episode, why testing is critical for success. It's an amazing episode. It's one of the most downloaded episodes. You guys can go and find that out at rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. So today we are talking about how can you increase your revenue in most profitable services. What do I mean by that? So example is for a plumber, selling hot water tanks is very profitable. The average transaction jumps from $500 all the way to $1,500. So usually, another example is a realtor. If a realtor sells a house for $1,000,000 or a $500,000, of course he's making more money in a $1,000,000 property. Similarly, a lawyer says we make or we our preferred area of practice is traffic law. That's where we thrive, that's where we make the most money, so that's what they pick. So we all have a service providers. We have some services in our stack which either we make more money or either we really excel at that. So what we do, what the today's podcast is all about, that how you can basically grow in that service area by choice, right? So let's say for an accountant, if you love to do bookkeeping, how can you get targeted bookkeeping clients? For electrician, if you want to focus on small restaurants who can hire you on retainer for their maintenance services, right? How can you attract small restaurants, right? So how can you do that? But before I jump into that, right, I wanted to give you two examples which you can again find it out at rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. So there's a plumbing company we work with, right? And there's average searches which are around 300 and 400, and this example is in the show notes, so you can actually take a look at the screenshot too. On average they generate 14 new clients, 14 paid clients for hot water tanks in their city. Now they have their separate website, right? But this website, and this is more like a separate niche. This whole website is focused on hot water tanks, because the whole idea is that we want to come across as hot water tank experts, right? And guess what, right? And last year they generated $190,000 in additional revenue just by this website alone, right? Which is impressive. For a plumbing company, that's basically adding another truck with a plumber on it, right? So as a business owner, right, that's really profitable. Another example in the show notes you will find is admit an emergency dentist, right? And our client is generating 27 to 30 new clients a month, and on last year they generated over to $420,000 in additional revenue, right? So when we look at that, and again, just focusing on the emergency dental services, because in the city no one is focused on emergency dental services. And guess what, if you want to go and find your dentist at night time, if you want to call them in the morning, it's a 6 a.m., you cannot get hold of them, right? So this whole service was created to focus on yes, we need new patients, but we also need new patients who are looking for services right now. So that's what we created for them. It's more like a micro website, right? And that generated over $420,000. So these are two examples of local business who's taking basically a specific service, right, and basically creating a funnel around it, a microsite around it, and trying to generate leads through that, right? You can do that in any business. You can do that in landscaping. You can do that in real estate. You can do that in plumbing, HVAC. You can do that in, like, law, accounting. You can implement that, and average ROI generated from these campaigns is amazing because for these two clients, I gave you an example. They've spent around $24,000 a year, and on average, they've generated one generated 190,000, the other one generated $420,000. So you can see additional ROI generated from these, like, micro niche sites, which can be really really profitable for you because, like, your competitors are not focused on that. They're just focused on that, like, one site. They're not attacking from every angle, right? And this is an amazing, like, strategy to basically dominate the local market by attacking from the multiple fronts, right? Okay, I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early in another episode. Have a good day. Bye bye. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to listen to previous episodes, go to rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. Again, I'll repeat that, rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early with another business growth lesson. Have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.